let's talk about the biggest surprise coming out of the Chiefs minicamp. And no, it's not Mahomes tossing dimes or Kelsey pulling in one-handed catches. It's the wide receiver room and specifically two names nobody expected to dominate, Jalen Royals and Tyquan Thornton. Now, let's be real. Going into camp, nobody had Royals, an undrafted rookie, pegged as someone who could shake things up. But guess what? The kid showed out. Coaches and reporters alike were buzzing about his quick separation, clean routes, and sure hands. He didn't just look like he belonged. He looked like he was pushing for a real spot on the roster. That's not something you say lightly when you're talking about a room filled with experienced names. And Tyquan Thornton, he's another name that's quietly crept up the depth chart. Former second-round pick from the Patriots, right? Well, he's bringing that deep threat speed we've missed since Tyreek Hill. Thornton had a string of solid days in minicamp, including a few splash plays that made people sit up. Andy Reid doesn't just hand out praise for nothing, and it sounds like both guys earned some real attention, but they weren't the only ones. Sky Moore, yeah, the same one we've all been waiting to take that next step, had one of his most consistent weeks in a long time. And Nico Remigio, the second-year undrafted guy who flashed last year before injuries hit, was back in full form. He's quick, he's shifty, and he could be a sneaky weapon, out of the slot or on special teams. So now the big question is, with these names rising, who's falling? And more importantly, how does this change the pecking order? Let me ask you this. Did you expect guys like Jalen Royals or Tyquan Thornton to be this impactful this early? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments. I want to see what the fan base thinks. And hey, if you're fired up to see this WR battle unfold, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, and your support helps us bring more deep Chiefs content straight to you. Also, smash that like button if you love surprise standouts, because this minicamp gave us plenty to talk about. Ready for what this means for Juju? Stick around. Now let's talk about the guy whose stock might be dropping faster than anyone expected. Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, that's right. The veteran wideout who once helped the Chiefs win a Super Bowl might be in real danger of getting pushed out. Juju signed a one-year deal with Kansas City this offseason for just $1.4 million. For a guy with his experience, that's not exactly a firm commitment. That kind of deal screams, prove it. And with the way some of these young receivers are performing, the pressure is on. Let's not forget what Juju has done when healthy. In 2022, his first stint with the Chiefs, he put up 933 yards on 78 catches and helped move the chains when it mattered most. And if you go all the way back to his best year with the Steelers, he racked up over 1,400 yards. The dude has talent. He's got good hands, runs crisp routes, and he's known for being a willing blocker, something Andy Reid values highly in this offense. But the issue isn't talent, it's availability. Since that breakout year, Juju has dealt with a laundry list of injuries, concussions, knee issues, hamstring tightness, a shoulder problem. Last season in New England, he looked like a shell of his former self. He only had 260 receiving yards in 11 games. That's a steep decline, and the Chiefs can't afford to carry a name just because of what he did in the past. When you line Juju up next to hungry, healthy guys like Royals, Thornton, and even Remigio, it starts to feel like he's the odd man out. The team already has its top trio with Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, once he's back, and rookie Xavier Worthy. So where does that leave Juju? I'm curious. What do you think? Does Juju's experience give him a real edge in this crowded WR room? Or is it time for the Chiefs to move on and let the younger guys take over? Vote in the comments, experience or youth. Let's see where the kingdom stands. And hey, if you're rooting for Juju to prove the doubters wrong, or you just love a good roster battle, make sure you're subscribed. We're aiming for 4,000 subscribers, and every click gets us closer. And don't forget to like this video. It helps more Chiefs fans join the conversation. Coming up next, who's rising and who's slipping on the WR depth chart? You'll want to hear this. All right, let's break down where things stand in the wide receiver room and who's rising or slipping after what we've seen at minicamp. Because make no mistake, this depth chart is shifting fast. First up, the top trio is pretty much locked. You've got Hollywood Brown bringing that big play speed, Rashee Rice, assuming the league doesn't hand down a suspension, and Xavier Worthy, the first-round rookie who's expected to become a key weapon for Mahomes. But after that, it's a straight-up war. Tyquan Thornton is climbing. That deep threat speed and fresh start away from New England are doing wonders for him. He's already flashing more consistency and confidence. Meanwhile, Jalen Royals is pushing his way into serious consideration. Undrafted or not, talent speaks, and Royals has been showing it loud and clear. You just can't ignore what he's doing. Then there's Sky Moore. This is a make-or-break year for him. He's had his ups and downs, but minicamp gave fans a glimpse of his potential again. He's not just running routes anymore. He looks more aggressive, more sure of himself. That's a big deal. And let's not sleep on Nico Remigio. He might be one of the most under-the-radar names here. Coaches love guys who contribute on special teams, and Remigio has value there. If he can keep stacking good days, he could sneak onto the final 53, even if it's as WR6. Now Juju, like we said, he's on shaky ground. Right now, he's probably battling it out for that 5th or 6th receiver spot. But with the Chiefs valuing special teams' versatility and durability, his path back to the roster isn't guaranteed. Let me throw this to you. Which wide receiver do you think will be the biggest surprise on the final 53-man roster? Will it be Royals, Thornton, maybe even Remigio? Drop your pick in the comments. I want to see who you're betting on. And hey, if you're loving these position breakdowns and want more depth chart analysis like this, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're building something big here on Total Chiefs News, and you can help us hit that 4K subscriber goal. Next up, let's talk about something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but plays a huge role: injuries and special teams. Stick around. Let's talk about two things that can quietly make or break a player's shot at sticking with the Chiefs: health and special teams. These two factors are often overlooked when fans focus on stats and highlights, but for a team like Kansas City that's chasing another Super Bowl, every roster spot has to count. Starting with health, Juju Smith-Schuster's injury history is well known. Since his breakout year with Pittsburgh, it's been one issue after another: concussions, knee swelling, soft tissue injuries, and it's not just missing games. It's the impact on practice, consistency, and chemistry with the quarterback. When you've got a younger, faster WR room that's staying on the field, it's hard for a vet to keep up when he's constantly managing physical setbacks. On the other hand, look at Jalen Royals. So far, he's stayed healthy, energized, and hungry. Same with Tyquan Thornton. Injuries held him back in New England. But he's come into KC looking sharp and refreshed. That availability means more reps, more chemistry with Mahomes, and a better chance to stand out. Coaches notice that. Andy Reid doesn't want to be reshuffling the lineup mid-season because someone can't stay on the field. Then there's special teams, the unsung proving ground for fringe roster guys. If you're not starting on offense or defense, you better contribute here. That's why someone like Nico Remigio could have a real edge. He's got quickness, returnability, and effort. And that's the kind of profile special teams coach Dave Toub loves. Sky Moore, meanwhile, has been inconsistent as a returner. And Juju? He's never really been a factor on special teams. In a tight race, that could be a deciding factor. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been disappointed watching a guy with talent get cut simply because he couldn't stay healthy? Or because he didn't do the dirty work on special teams? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about the hidden game behind roster cuts. And if you're the kind of fan who watches every snap, not just offense but kickoff and punt returns too, then hit that subscribe button. Help us reach 4,000 subscribers and keep this community of hardcore Chiefs fans growing. Up next, who survives training camp and who's on the chopping block? Let's make some bold predictions. Now that minicamp's in the books, It's time to look ahead to the next big test, training camp. This is where everything ramps up. Full pads, contact drills, joint practices, and real competition. And for the wide receiver room, the pressure is about to hit a whole new level. Here's the reality. There are only so many seats at the table. The Chiefs will likely keep 6 wide receivers on the final 53-man roster. 3 of those spots are practically locked in. Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, depending on potential league discipline, and rookie Xavier Worthy. That leaves a heated battle for maybe 3 open spots. Maybe 4 if they really want to get creative. Right now, Jalen Royals is the name on everyone's lips. He's done everything right since walking into the building as an undrafted free agent. If he keeps this pace through camp and makes a few big plays in preseason, it'll be hard for the coaching staff to leave him off the roster. Tyquan Thornton has made noise too, and his speed gives him value that can't be coached. But he's got to prove he can stay healthy and consistent. Special teams value will also weigh heavily here. Skyway Moore is in a tricky spot. He's shown flashes, but expectations were higher after being a second-round pick. Training camp is his shot to prove he belongs, or he risks getting buried behind the new talent. And then there's Juju, a veteran with big moments under his belt. But if the body isn't cooperating and the production isn't there, he may be the one left without a chair when the music stops. So now it's prediction time. Who makes the final cut? Who gets stashed on the practice squad? And who gets that dreaded call into the coach's office? Here's what I want to know from you. Who are your top 3 picks to round out the wide receiver room behind the starters? Drop your list in the comments. I'll be reading every single one, and if you've enjoyed this full breakdown of the WR shakeup and want more position battles covered just like this, hit that subscribe button now. Let's keep pushing toward that 4,000 subscriber goal. And smash that like button if you're ready for one of the most exciting training camps we've seen in years. Stick with us, Chiefs Kingdom. This is just the beginning.